Good morning, children. Yesterday we have finished our session number 63. Now we are going to continue session number 64. We have learned about the measuring thickness of a coin. We cannot measure the thickness of a single coin. So altogether we have to keep one upon another and we have to divide it. Now activity number 4. Measuring the length of a curved path. Fix alpine at the ends of the curved line to be measured as shown in the figure 12. Now tie a knot with cotton thread at the first point of the alpine A and move the cotton thread along points B, C, D, E, etc. So, how do you measure the length of a curved path? If it is straight, you are using the scale and you are measuring. If it is a straight, if you want to measure the length of a table, then you can keep the scale along this edge of the table and you can measure. If it is curved path, if the curved path says, take as an example, bucket. You are having handle, no? This is the handle of the bucket. Now this is not in a straight. It is not straight. It is called as a curved path. Then how do you measure this length? You cannot keep scale here, here and here. So how is that you are going to measure the length of this curved path? You are going to see. For that you have to take a cotton thread. At the first point of the alpine A, move the cotton thread along the points B, C, D, E, etc. I will show you on the board. And move the cotton thread along the points B, C, D, E, etc. Care should be taken that the thread is neither too tight nor too loose, and see that the thread coincides with the curve at each point while moving along the path. When the thread reaches the extreme end of the curved path, cut it at that point. Remove the thread from A and then place it straight along the length of a meter scale and measure its length. The length of the thread is the measure of the length of the curved path. Suppose this is the handle. Now you have to take a piece of thread. Then keep the thread here at the first point A and tie it with one more thread knot. Then keep an alpine. And again here you have to keep the thread with an alpine. And here again you have to insert the alpine. Here, here, and again you have to tie it here. When you are tying the thread to this handle, make sure that thread should not be loose. It should be very tight. Hold the thread like this, and here you have to tie it. And here, here, here. You take the use with the help of alpines. You have to tie the thread along the handle. Now, after at the last point, end point, suppose this is the B, C, D, E and F. We have to keep like this A, B, C. At every point you have to write the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F. So when you tie the other end of the handle, then you have to cut the thread here. Now take out the thread by removing the alpines. Now take out the thread from A point to F point. You have to place the thread in a straight way. The thread is in a curved path. Now when you remove the alpines, you can take the thread and just keep it in a straight way. Now take the scale and keep along the thread. Along the thread you can measure the thread with the help of scale. Suppose the thread is 20 centimeters. Then the measurement of the bucket will be 20 centimeters. Now you cannot measurement of this handle, the bucket of the handle. You cannot take out the handle and you cannot keep it straight, no? It is in a curved. Now what we have to do? We have to take a thread and we have to keep as it is like that. Then now remove the alpines and keep the thread in a straight way. Take the scale and measure it. Now after measuring, you can conclude that the measurement of the handle of the bucket is equal to the measurement of the thread. I think it is clear for you. For example, if you want to measure the length of this handle, you cannot keep scale in this way. So take a piece of thread, put one end at the starting point of this handle, so the one end of the thread you have to keep at the starting point of this handle, and you have to keep the alpins at different levels, here, 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 till the other end, till it reaches to the other end, and make sure the thread should be very tight. Now when it is reaching to the other end, we have to cut it here. Approximately I am doing. Now keep this thread, after cutting, remove the alpins from the handle. Now keep this thread in a straight way. Now measure this thread by using a scale. Now measure this thread by using a scale. Right now I don't have scale. So maybe this is 10 centimeters. Suppose this is 10 centimeters. Then we can say that this handle is 10 centimeters in length. I hope you have understood. This is about the curved part. It is not only for this shape, not only the handle of the bucket, but it may be used for any other curved part. Suppose it may be like this. Now we cannot keep the scale in this way. So again we have to take a thread here, we have to tie it, keep alpin here, again you put the thread here, alpin, thread, alpin, thread, alpin, alpin here and here, cut it off. Now remove the thread and keep it in a straight way and measure with a scale. So in this way we have to measure the length of a curved part. So at the conclusion you can say that the length of the thread is the measure of the length of the curved part. This is all about the curved part. Now measurement of area. This is also very important for you. Measurement of area. Just look into your books. Ramu and Ravi's father brought 2 drawing sheets for them. After taking these sheets from their father, Ramu and Ravi started quarreling with each other, each one claiming that his sheet was shorter than the others. Then Ramu and Ravi, father gave both of them a color sheet. Then they were quarreling, fighting that each other sheet is very small. My sheet is small. Which sheet is smaller? Which sheet is bigger? How can we decide? If it is in square shape, both are. If both sheets are in square shape, then you can say one is big and one is small. But they don't have proper shape. Observe the drawing chart figure given below, sheet A and sheet B. So the sheets are in this shape. See figure 13. Can you decide which is bigger and which is smaller sheet by observing them? It is not having a particular shape. Then how can you decide that it is smaller and bigger? If not, what method do you have to decide the bigger and now to know the size of this, which one is bigger and which one is smaller, which type of method you are going to adopt to measure the length. Let us see. Take 2 sheets of A4 paper and cut them in the shapes of shown figure 13. Now take some empty matchbox of equal size and keep them on the sheet. Starting from one corner of the sheet, count how many matchbox are needed to cover the entire surface of the sheet. Similarly, repeat the process for the second sheet also and record the findings in your notebook. Which sheet needs more number of matchbox? Which is bigger in size? You may find that one of the sheets need more number of matchbox, which shows that one sheet is bigger in size than the other. Thus, we need to measure the surface of an object to decide whether it is bigger or smaller. For this, to know the measurement of this we have to take A4 size paper and cut it in the same drawing sheet shape which the father has given. The father has given the drawing sheet which is in this shape to Ramu, and one more is this in shape. So both are different shape, right? Now how can you say that this is bigger and this is smaller? We cannot say just by looking. We have to measure it. Now take A4 size sheet paper, then cut it in this shape. After cutting, take some matchboxes. Think this is a matchbox. Keep matchboxes like this, one after another. 1, 2, in this way. You have to fill the sheet with matchbox. Suppose this is a matchbox. 1, 2, 3 matchbox. 4, 5. Think that I am filling the matchboxes like this. Okay. How many matchbox I have kept on a A4 size sheet paper? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have kept 15 matchbox on this A4 size sheet paper. This is sheet number A. Now coming to the B sheet. One, two, three. I have not drawn exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So here A sheet I got 15 matchbox. On B sheet I got 16 matchbox. Now which one is having more matchbox? B. That means B sheet is bigger than A sheet, because the number of matchbox is more in B sheet than the A sheet. Now, area is the measure of the extent of the plane surface occupied by an object. In the above activity, a matchbox is taken as a unit to measure area, but it is not a standard unit. We need a standard unit to measure the area. So here we have taken as matchbox a measurement unit, but matchbox is not a standard unit to measure the area. Further, we are having different measurement and calculations. Now let us see what is the standard unit to measure area. So in next class we are going to learn what is the standard unit to measure the area. Now we have measured the area of this A sheet and B sheet with the help of matchbox, but this is not the correct measurement. So there is a different measurement to measure the area. This is remaining lesson will be continued tomorrow. Now your homework is to write question number 1, 2, 3 and 4. The 5 question and answers. Sorry, 4 question and answers. Learn and write. Learn and write. 4 question and answers one time from lesson number 13. Yes. So learn and write 4 question and answers one time from lesson number 13. This is your homework. Don't forget and don't ask me again and again. While you are writing the homework, please read the answers. Thank you.